Welcome, friends. Today we'll learn about the many animals referenced in the Holy Quran. While Allah's signs can be found everywhere in nature, the Quran singles out specific creatures to share their divine purpose and lessons for us. Let's begin our exploration. The ant plays a starring role in Surah An-Naml, where Solomon is shown an ant warning others to return home before a treacherous king crushes them underfoot. This ant's communication skills and preemptive wisdom teach us much. Even the smallest beings demonstrate qualities to better ourselves: diligence, cooperation and care for community. Apes appear as objects of punishment for those who persist in wrongdoing. As humans, we possess higher reasoning yet share DNA with these lesser creatures. How easily we degrade when straying from righteousness. This serves as a caution against hubris and neglecting our purpose. Bees receive careful instructions from Allah on conducting their lives. Their intricate social structure and division of labor show a planned order, fulfilling their roles perfectly without oversight. Like the ant, their harmony should inspire emulation of living rightly. Mentioned throughout, birds highlight Allah's creation and control. He provides for their needs without demand for provision, reminding us of divine sustenance. Their migration patterns display His organization of natural phenomena beyond our comprehension. Birds also remind us to avoid anxiety, as even the lowliest of them are safe in Allah's care. Prophet Musa's story includes the calf who lowed, burned then crumbled, just as idolatry leads astray then perishes. Livestock sustain humanity physically as well as teach dependence on Allah alone for our true needs. Their willing sacrifice also connects us to acts of worship going back to Ibrahim and Ismail. Camels feature prominently in Arabia and the Quran due to their resilience, on which many nomadic tribes relied. Their divine fashioning to suit harsh climes reminds that even hardships are by Allah's design. Their trustworthy service should make us question mistreating any creature under our care. Crows demonstrate how even unclean beings can serve higher purpose through sincere remorse, as foretold to Qabil after slaying Habil. Their rough appearance gives no sign of the feelings that moved one to bury the late brother, teaching that no soul is beyond redemption through honest self-reflection. While dogs today mix as pets amongst people worldwide, the Quran refers more to their uncivilized state, reflecting societies that see them as impure. However, their role in guiding the blind, and unconditional loyalty to their masters, shows potentials for noble behavior if rightly directed. All beings contain seeds of goodness and purpose waiting to flower. Asses work diligently yet endure mistreatment at times, as people take their willing service for granted. But even these lowly animals deserve compassion. The Quran links their travails to neglecting worship and warnings against those who deny the day of reckoning. We must reflect on our duties to both Creator and creation. The chapter Al-Fil recounts divine intervention against a belligerent elephant, reminding how the mightiest earthly forces amount to nothing against Allah. Despite size or numbers, no one can overcome God's command. Even powerful nations fall when defying the natural order. This instills trust that in times of hardship, deliverance comes from the Most High alone. Fish live openly yet are well protected. Their role as a nourishment for humankind shows Allah's care for all. Their mention in the story of Yunus teaches that no matter how lost or sinful we stray, God's compassion covers all who repent. Difficulties pass in exchange for a renewed promise of guidance when we return to the righteous path. Flies, like ants and bees, display organized communities and functions beyond their minute forms. The Quran notes none can create even one, let alone emulate their intricacies. This highlights Allah's unmatched power and how much greater knowledge lies beyond our grasp, encouraging humility before the divine. As with locusts and lice, frogs were part of plagues visited upon remote nations as retribution for tyranny and polytheism. While ghastly visitations, these served to correct wayward peoples through natural events. Their fleeting prevalence reminds how worldly delights fade, while righteous living alone endures. Goats grant meat and milk, skins and fiber in service to humanity. Their herding symbolizes spiritual obedience to divine governance versus giving in to Satan's deceits. As social creatures contributing to development, they reflect community as natural state while warning against division or harming neighbors through dishonest means. A hoopoe bird brought Solomon urgent news. Despite the king's immense powers, for even the lowliest wings may impart needful guidance. Wisdom comes from every source willing to learn, not status or appearance alone. Its good conduct mirrored Solomon's receptiveness to instruction from any quarter, no matter how humble. Horses feature as indicators of status, strength, and blessings in this life. But the Quran stresses their usefulness ends in the grave. Worldly rank amounts to nothing on the day of reckoning, so we must dwell not on fleeting adornments, but preparation for the hereafter through goodly deeds and faithfulness to Allah. Lice were agents of discomfort among stubborn nations refusing Allah's messengers. Their tiny forms delivered bigger lessons on obeying one God. Though physically minor, principles should tower over passions, comforts or riches. By wisely reflecting on higher purpose, we can rise above base urgings towards virtue. Metaphorically, lions symbolize the disbelievers who flee in terror from Allah's punishment on Judgment Day, having once roared in defiance. Their former might vanishes before overwhelming truth. No matter earthly strength, conviction or numbers, justice prevails where right is done. This deters arrogance and trusting in material things that diminish while faith endures. Locusts devastate fields yet come and go at Allah's command. Their ravages taught dependent kingdoms to recall the divine hand in all affairs. Prosperity rests on His will, not human power or ingenuity alone. Transience of worldly gains ever reminds pursuing the enduring through faith and goodly acts that outlive us. Mosquitoes, like ants or flies, find mention despite sizes smaller than a speck. Their role in the balance of nature, from spreading benefits to irritations, reflects each being's niche. Wisdom accepts all as fellow travelers towards Judgment Day, not dismissing the least among Allah's signs. From small beings spring deeper contemplations. Moths consume but are consumed in turn, symbolizing how all earthly vanities diminish while the hereafter lasts forever. Their fragile yet purposeful lives remind relying on nothing save the Creator who alone gives and takes away. In this fleeting test, sincere faith and virtue alone will shield us on the great day. I hope this video script about animals in the Quran has offered some insights. While focusing on specific creatures, the deeper lessons apply to all humankind, of purposeful order in creation, accountability to our Maker, justice, interconnected reliance and humility before the grand design. May we reflect carefully on this natural book of God's signs, and walk righteously in response. This is my virtual narration, concluding here. Until next time.